Verse 24, Ke kusan emor, ke Sechem to iu avtu, and they listened to Hamor and Shechem his son. Ke pantus ekporevomeni tin pilin tis polios avton, and all the ones going forth at the gate of the city. Ke periatemnonto tin sarka tis acrovistias avton, and they were circumcised in the flesh, a sarka, sarcophagus, a place that holds dead flesh, and the Egyptians. Pas, arsin, every male. 25. Ageneto they in ti imerati triti, and it came to pass in the third day, ote isen into pono, well, they were in the misery of the flesh, hurting. Lavontus I dio Iakov, Simeon ke Levi adelphi Dinas ekastos tin makaran avtu. 1. The two sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, brothers of Dinah, each taking his sword, ke isilthon istin polin asphalos, even entered to the city safely, snuck in. Ke apek tinan pan arsinikon, and killed every male. Ton te emor ke sichem, ton ion avtu apektinan. Also Hamor and Shechem his son they killed by stomati makaras, the mouth of the sword. Stomati, stomach, it's a derivative. Ke elavan tin dhinan ek to iku to Sekim, and they took Dinah from the house of Shechem. Ke exilthon, and went forth, so she was still there. In verse 27, Ide Yaakov isilthon epitus travmatias ke vir pasan tin polin in emianan dhinan tin adelphin avton. And the sons of Jacob entered unto the travmatias, a trauma is a wounded derivative, and plundered the city in which their sister was defiled. I don't think it was all the brothers. I think it was still Simeon and Levi, because down here later it mentions them. This is kind of a synopsis of what happened. In verse 28, Ke ta provata avton, ketos voas avton, ketus aunus avton, osa in antipoli, and their sheep and their oxen and their donkeys, as much was in the city, so they took it all. Ke osa in and topedio elavon, so they plundered everything of these Hivites. 29, Ke panta ta somata avton, and all of their persons. Ke pasantin aposkavin avton, and all their belongings. Ke tas ginekas avton ikmalotevson, and their women they captured and probably made them into slaves. Ke dir pasan osain antipoli, and they plundered as much as was in the city. Ke osain and tes ikies, and as much as was in the houses. So they ransacking everything. Ipe they Yaakov pro Simeon ke Levi. And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, Misi ton me pepi kate, you have made me detested. Oste poniron me ine pasitis katikusi tingin, so as for me to be wicked to all the ones dwelling the land. Well, this is true, but in the long run, this is what God had planned and how he was working it out to eliminate these peoples. Ente tis Hananes ke antis Pharisees, among both the Canaanites and among the Perizzites. Jacob is worried about these peoples, but yet later God has these, like I mentioned, these people destroyed, all the Canaanites, because of their ungodly works. Ego they oligistos imi in arithmo. I am very few in number. Arithmo, arithmetic is a derivative. So he's worried just because there are not very many people with him compared to the other peoples. Ke sinak thentis ep eme, and gathering together against me. Synkopsu si me, they shall cut me down. Ke ektriviso me, and I shall be obliterated. Ego ke oikos mu, I and my house. It doesn't have the faith of Abraham. Well, maybe he does, but they fail at times because Abraham knew even though he would lose his son, Isaac, God would still bring the seed somehow. And so Jacob here may not see it, but yet this is the way it was. And then the sons reply in verse 31, Ide ipon al osi porni chrisonte ti adelphi imon. But as a harlot, they treated our sister, pornography, as a harlot. They treated the sister. And the next chapter goes in, and Jacob builds an altar in Bethel, in chapter 35. And I hope you will join us, and God bless.